Welcome back on Good Morning Artesia. Time to talk some Bulldog baseball, and Coach J.J. Ortiz of the baseball program is with us. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning.
You know, I was doing some reading. Apple TV is doing Major League Baseball now on Friday nights. They're doing 2 different games on Friday nights. And, of course, Apple has a lot of different stuff, and they have their music service. So now, after a game is played, one of the playlists that you can get is the walk-up music for all the baseball players.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so I thought that was kind of interesting. I pulled up the playlist for the Mets, and I didn't realize how important walk-up music probably is to a lot of these baseball players. Is that a big deal now for these guys?
Yeah, I think it kind of, they're able to express, some of their personality that way, and maybe their culture also with those older guys, and we let our players pick
theirs. So here's the New York Mets walk-up playlist: Leonard Skinner, I Ain't the One; Rock of Ages, Def Leppard; Back in Black, AC/DC; Narco by Blaster Jacks and Timmy Trumpet; Brother Louie by The Stories; For Whom the Bell Tolls, Metallica; Welcome Home by, is it Coheed and Cambria? It's got the explicit lyrics tag on it here. Bad Bunny by, or Booker T by Bad Bunny; The Business by Tiesto; Me Versus Me by Moneybagg Yo; and Simple Man by Leonard Skinner. So what a mix of music there.
Yeah, that's funny because a lot of those players are so young that they weren't even around when that music was made.
That's right. So. But that is kind of a big deal nowadays.
Yeah, our baseball players have fun with theirs, and I know with the little. We played a travel. My son played in a travel team. Like they had a tournament in Carlsbad, and those little kids had walk-up songs, and then the moms would sneak in like a different song for them, and the kid would look back and like,
what's this?
Like Baby Shark or something like that. And they say, "Mom, what are you doing?" And so
you're embarrassing me.
Yeah, no, they're having fun with it, and they're just I think 7 and 8 year olds.
Yeah.
And so it's we're so fortunate to be able to have the program to be able to play that music, and we have such a nice stadium, that we're able to do that. So,
well, Brainerd is a nice ballpark, and I tell people that Joe Bauman in Roswell is like a twin sister or an odd cousin of Brainerd Baseball Park. But Brainerd, in other words, they're old parks. They were both used at the same time in the same league when Joe Bauman was hitting home runs and setting the professional baseball home run record, which stood until, I think it was Barry Bonds that finally broke Joe Bauman's record.
Oh, wow.
Joe Bauman hit home runs at Brainerd. Joe Bauman hit home runs in Roswell. And you look at our ballpark, and then you look at some of the other ballparks around the state, and it is a really nice facility.
Yeah. No, I'd put it up there as maybe the best in the whole state.
Yeah.
It's the seating that we have is so nice. Just the protection from the foul balls is nice for fans, that they don't have to worry about that, and our concession, I mean, probably number one.
Yeah.
So and then our batting cages, our bullpen, parking lot. I mean, you just go on and on about how nice our facilities are.
It is. We go to Albuquerque for the state baseball tournament, and last few years they've been playing the bulk of their games at UNM Stadium. It's a nice ballpark. But from a broadcaster standpoint, we'll have to sit outside.
Yes, sir.
They don't have enough room in their press box for all the radio stations that show up, and they don't let you put up tents.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
know.
we brought a tent one year and bungee corded that sucker down to the bleachers and the fence at the top of the bleachers, and we got them all set up, and Joby and I started headed over across town to do softball, and I get a phone call, and they're making us take the tent down. And, you know, they have no provisions for all these radio stations that come and show up, but we have plenty of room here, and it's fun. Games are for real now with district. How pleased are you with the progress of the team to this point through the non-district schedule?
You know, looking at our schedule, we knew we were gonna have a lot of tough games, but that's how we wanted it, and a couple things go different ways. You know, we get wins and not the losses, and that's just how baseball is. You know, sometimes it rolls your way and sometimes it doesn't, and that's what we talk to our guys about. You know, baseball is going to prepare you for life, because sometimes things are going to be going really good, and then you're going to have a hiccup and something bad happen, and how do you respond to that and get going back in the right direction again, and that's how baseball is. You know, you strike out, get back on up to bat the next at bat. How are you going to respond? And or you get an error in the field, how are you going to is that going to affect you the rest of the game, or how are you going to respond to that? Just like life. And so you know, that's what we preach to them every day. And so, you know, with our schedule, things didn't go our way in some of those games, but we played some really good teams, and we continue to get better from that, and that's the whole plan with our schedule is how are we going to be playing when district starts. And you know, we played Carlsbad on Friday, and they have a guy that's going to go play at Texas Tech next year, and if you have followed college baseball, Texas Tech's been in the College World Series, you know. I think the last 2 out of 3 years, or 3 out of 3 or something like that. And so they have a really good team, and for them to pick up someone from New Mexico is huge. And so it was really good for us to face him. You know, we got 5 hits off of him, had some opportunities to do some other things, and we didn't take advantage of it. But that, facing him and facing a team like Carlsbad that does a lot of things right, and kind of showed us some things that we need to work on, is good for us going into district. And so you know, take all those games, take all the experiences from those games, and apply it to these 9 games, and hopefully, you know, we're taking that momentum into the state tournament. So,
where do you think some of the biggest improvements have been in the team this year?
You know, a lot of these with us, we have a lot of players that don't have a ton of baseball experience, and so just getting those guys the experience and at bats and plays during the, you know, seeing different plays and playing different positions has really been a huge improvement with all our guys. And you know, getting to, you know, with that COVID year, you know, a lot of guys missed that whole year of baseball, and so just the experience is big for our guys. And you know, having a lot of juniors and sophomores and a couple of freshmen sprinkled in there with our 3 seniors is really good experience for them. And so, you know, we bunt the ball really well. We really have worked on that every single day. We work on it, putting teams in different situations, putting the pressure on them. That's what we try to do, and did a little bit of it on Friday. We showed bunt. Their defense came up real fast, and then we hit the ball, and so we put them out of position so we could get a hit. And you know, Diego Zamora did a really good job of that. And then we tried to bunt Diego over, and Devin Fierro put a bunt down, and he was safe because he's so fast. And so we were able to get bases loaded with they intentionally walked one of our better hitters, Nathan Taylor, and then Josh Majid came up, and so we put them in a situation that they didn't want to be in, with bases loaded, and I think that we only had 1 or 2 outs and or no outs. I think we had 1 out, but so Bunting's improved a lot. Our pitching just continues to get better, and so I'm happy with our progress.
I've seen more stealing home from the team this year than I've seen from any other.
Oh, definitely. We work on that every pregame. We put our guys in that situation, game-like situation. We run the bases hard. We have guys run around the bases on pregame, and every time we get a guy on third, we work on the squeeze. And so I felt really good with this group about doing it during the game. And right from the get-go in Hobbs, we did it a couple times back-to-back, and then we continued to do it every time we get that opportunity. And so it makes teams really worry about that. Pitch us a little differently. The pitcher has to keep an eye on us at third, so he's a little more distracted. And so there's a lot of good things that come along with putting the pressure on someone when you're at third.
Being able to do that. And baseball is such an interesting sport because obviously it's a stick and ball sport, and a lot happens when the ball is put in play, but it's not like basketball or football where all the action centers around the ball. Right. There's all kinds of things that can go on. We were talking about this yesterday in our video production meeting. You hit a fly ball into the outfield with runners on base. There's all kinds of different situations that can come out of that. Do we have a good thinking team? You got good. They're really aware of the situation and what's going on, and they can react accordingly.
Yeah, we do, and we put them in those situations during practice also, so they're ready for that. And we also play a game. It's called Quad Squad, where it's live with the pitching machine, but we put them in those situations so they're ready for that in the game, and they enjoy that. And so, but baseball, it's you get put in those situations, and that's the beauty of the game. Sometimes you don't always make the right play, and that's why it's such a wonderful game, because anything can happen. Like you said, the ball's hitting the outfield. The wind could affect the baseball. There's just so many things that could go right and could go wrong at the same time, and so that's the beauty of it.
Yeah. Do you throw to the cutoff man? Do you throw to the base? Do you what does the runner go? Does the runner hold up? There's all kinds of things that. Do you think your team is better at small ball? Is that meaning you get somebody on, bunt them around, try to pick up a run here and there?
It all depends on the pitcher we're facing. If we can really get a lot of hits off the guy, or if he's if we're benefiting from what he's throwing, then we'll just swing away. If he's pretty tough on the mound and having a day, then we'll probably put some more pressure on him or to bunt the ball a little bit, make them field it, and it really depends on who's pitching and how they're doing.
Yeah.
So it really just depends. I don't have like a exact answer for that, because what they're trying to do to us is how we respond to.
Sure. Well, the games are for real. You mentioned the nine games are left. You have Portales this week, Lovington next week, and then you finish up with the series with Goddard.
Yes, sir.
This series, you have 1 at home and 2 at Portales. I think it reverses for Lovington,
yes,
right?
Sir.
You've got
yes, sir.
the 1 game at Lovington, and then the doubleheader here, and then Goddard is like this week. You have 1 game here and 2 at Goddard. As you look across the district, is there anybody that's standing out? Do you feel like Ortiz is in the best position to do well in district this year?
I think it's really looking at some of the other scores. Portales beat Roswell. Goddard's played a lot of tough, a tough schedule just like us. Compare some of the same teams we played. And so it's really up for grabs. It depends on how the pitchers are going to do. Last year we saw we beat Portales. We swept Portales in the 4 games, and then Goddard ended up losing one of the games against Portales, which helped us get into, being able to. It gave us an opportunity to win district, and we took care of business in one district, and so can't count anyone out. And especially, I think everyone plays up for each other in this district. Everyone wants to beat each other, and so everyone plays their best game. And especially with the 3-game series, how we have it set up, everyone's going to have all their pitchers, and so that's going to make it interesting too, because no one's not going to. There's not any other games that are going to affect their pitching rotation, and so that's how we wanted it. The best. Play your best guys. We'll play our best guys, and then we'll see who comes out on top. And then it sets us up for the state tournament. We'll have that 3 games, best of 3, the first round, and then pretty much a 3-game series to win the state championship when you go quarters, semifinals, and championship. And so, the whole plan for our district is how can we have our teams prepared to win a state championship, all of them. And so that's why we did it.
Now, Portales series, you have 1 game here on Thursday, and then the doubleheader at Portales. You and I were talking before we went on the air. Neither one of us played, broadcast, coached much in Portales. What do you know about their ball club? Who are you keeping an eye on, and how? What does our team need to be prepared for in order to be successful against Portales?
They actually brought up an 8th grader that's throwing really well for them, and they have some other guys that do a good job on the mound, and they'll be solid defensively. They'll do a little bit of small ball also, and put us in situations that we don't want to be in, and so they'll be prepared. They'll be ready. That coach does a really good job with those guys, and it'll be fun. And we also moved our game up on Friday, and because of Good Friday, and when we made the schedule, that was an oversight on our part, and so we're going to play it on Friday, 12 o'clock, and then game following that first game, and so, but our game Thursday's still here at 5, and so we'll be excited to play in front of our fans and get after Portales, try to get a win here at home, and move on to the next. So take one game at a time, and 1 inning at a time, and 1 pitch at a time. So
there you go. That's what you got to do.
Yes, sir.
5 o'clock Thursday at Brainerd Baseball Park, and then noon Friday in Portales for the doubleheader there, and that's what's going on. That's what's going on this week. I guess you're getting your daily routine in place now, so for the next 4 weeks, the 3 weeks of district and that first week of the state playoff round, you can everybody's kind of getting into that routine. There's a lot of that in baseball, routines,
yes sir,
superstitions.
Yeah, no, there is a lot. I remember my on that couple Saturday ago, my son played and they won their games, and the coach said, "Don't wash the uniforms." And my son's like, the coach said not to wash them. We're like, all right. He's like, why? He said, well, I told him, well, he doesn't want us to wash off the wins. And he's like, oh, okay, yeah, don't wash it. And then he got chocolate on his.
Oh no!
He got chocolate on his shirt, and so he said, "Dad, I got chocolate on it, but I can't wash it." And I said, well, let's just wash the chocolate off so it doesn't stain the jersey, and then we'll go from there. And so, yeah, like you said, some teams, if they're winning, they don't wash their uniforms, right. And they're full of dirt every game. It just gets worse, and that makes me cringe because I wash our uniforms because they're so expensive, and so we scrub our uniforms every game, win or lose, because I mean it's expensive to replace pants every year and jerseys every year, and so we really, we take pride in having really nice uniforms and clean uniforms. So
have you picked how many different versions or schemes of uniforms do you have this year? Is it pretty much the same, or do you have a couple of different?
We we're so lucky to be here in Artesia and be able to have different uniforms, and so we have a black top and an orange and a white and a digital camo, and we have some gray and white pants, and we also have the old school. They call them knicker pants, where they're short pants, kind of like capris, but they're so we're really lucky to have we can all mix that combination up. So our guys like switching up. We let them pick what uniform we're gonna wear, and so like I said, we're really lucky to be. I'm lucky to be coaching here in Artesia, and we're really lucky to have the facilities and the support and everyone here in Artesia. It's been a blessing.
Have they picked the uniform for Thursday?
I'm sure they're thinking about it. Sometimes it's a discussion for a while about what we're gonna wear, but it's fun.
When the Diamondbacks first came into the major leagues, they had about 16 different uniform variations. I don't think they have quite that many now. They've kind of settled in on one, but it was the starting pitcher for that game was the one that got to pick the uniform combination for that game. So
yeah, we try to wear whites at home. The Friday, our guys wanted to wear black because last year when we beat Carlsbad, we wore black, and so we wore black, and so
that goes out the window now.
Yeah, it didn't work out. So
reset.
Yep.
Pick another color.
Yes, sir.
Right. Anything else you'd like to add?
No, I
Coach?
just want to ask the fans and everyone to come support us on Thursday, and we switched up the schedule so we could have more home games because we love playing in front of our home fans and love seeing people in the stands. So, come enjoy a baseball game. It's getting down where there's only four more guaranteed home games left, and so take advantage of that and come eat some of our great concession food and enjoy a baseball game. So just want to encourage everyone to come watch these guys play.
Thursday at 5 is your next opportunity at Brainerd Baseball Park. The next Friday for the doubleheader, and then 2 weeks a Thursday game against Goddard. So those are your home games coming up.
Yes, sir.
All right, Coach J.J. Ortiz, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to take a quick break and be back in just a moment.
Now for a Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Cirillo. New details on the wildfires that appear to have gotten out of control by BLM. Firefighters were working